What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a quick video breaking down all of the core content which is going to be going away with the start of Destiny 2 Year 6. And so as always, after a year of content in the game, many of the seasonal items are actually removed to make way for new stuff in the following year. And that's going to be the same for Year 6 right here. So Bungie have outlined the content vault for the year, and I thought it would be useful to break down all of the items, activities, destination changes, and rewards that will no longer be available at the start of Year 6 on February 28th. And so we'll get straight into it guys. As always, I hope you enjoy this one, and if you do, a rating below really does help us out. But without further delay, let's get into it. And so Bungie say with the launch of Year 6 on February 28th, certain destinations, activities, and quests will be moved to the Destiny content vault, and players will have until February 28th to experience all of the listed content before it becomes unavailable. And so starting out with Year 5 destinations, initially the Helm will be reworked for seasons in the new year, and so the Helm wing for the Crown of Sorrow and the Season of the Haunted content will be removed. That will also be the same for the Helm wing for the Rasputin exoframe, the Sisorium, if that's actually how you said it, the bit with the Scions, in the back room in the middle of the Helm, but then also the Warmind launch facility, the Derelict Leviathan, and the Last City Elixni Quarter will all be removed from the game. So bear those in mind. Of course, Helm will be seeing a rework for the new content in Year 6. But Bungie also point out that campaigns and seasonal narratives will of course go away, and that includes Season of the Risen, Haunted, Plunder, and Seraph from this last year. That's also going to impact the weapons from those seasons, and as we've seen in previous years, they'll no longer have a direct drop source, outside of potential activities like Dares of Eternity, which may be updated with various weapons, and of course Xur, who has the potential to sell older gear in the game. And so a lot of the seasonal weapons will still potentially be obtainable in one form or another, but they'll be nowhere near as deterministic as they are right now. And of course the core weapons for Season of the Risen include Peace of Mind, that's the Pulse Rifle, but also the Thoughtless Sniper Rifle, the Sweet Sorrow Auto Rifle, the Under Your Skin Bow, Explosive Personality Grenade Launcher, and Recurrent Impact Machine Gun. There'll also be a lot of weapons from Season of the Haunted which will no longer have a direct drop source, and that includes Tears of Contrition, that's the Kinetic Scout Rifle, but also the Nezarek's Whisper Glaive, Without Remorse Shotgun, Hollow Denial Trace Rifle, and Bump in the Night Rocket Launcher. But additionally the Firefright Auto Rifle, Ostringer Hand Cannon, Callus Minotaur SMG, Beloved Sniper Rifle, and Drang Baroque will also no longer have drop sources. We'll also lose access to targetable Season of the Plunder weapons, so that includes the No Reprieve Shotgun, Blood Feud SMG, Tarnished Metal Scout Rifle, Brigand's Law Sidearm, Sail Spy Pitchglass Linear Fusion Rifle, and the Planck Stride Machine Gun. Then finally for Season of the Seraph, we're going to lose access to the Tripwire Canary Combat Bow, Disparity Pulse Rifle, Judgment of Kalgoroth Glaive, the Path of Least Resistance Trace Rifle, Fire and Forget Linear Fusion Rifle, and then the Retrofit Escapade Machine Gun, as well as all 4 of the original Ikelos weapons which were updated for this season. Of course, bear in mind once again, many of them will probably get some new sources to drop in Year 6, but won't be as readily available as they are right now. In terms of activities that are going away though, that will include Nightmare Containment from Season of the Haunted, but also Catch Crash and the various expeditions from Season of Plunder, but also the Season of Plunder hideouts, the Sever missions from Season of the Haunted, and some exotic quest content including Vox Obscura, that launched in Season of the Risen alongside Witch Queen, and then Operation Seraph Shield, and the 4 other variations of the Operation missions from Season of the Seraph. However, we should mention that some of these exotic missions will actually be featured again in the future, so Bungie revealed this just a couple of days ago. And they said having added a ton of great exotic missions like Presage and Operation Seraph Shield, in the next year they'll not only continue to create new exotic missions, but starting in Season 22, they will be adding an exotic mission rotator. And so some of the content that's going away right now will actually be back inside of this new playlist. And they say the exotic mission rotator will feature exotic missions from the past that rotate on a weekly cadence, and offer rewards for players willing to dive into classic content. So for Season 22, the rotator will contain the exotic missions from Seasons 13, 16, and 19, which are Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield. And so in a few months, not only will we get access to Vox Obscura and Operation Seraph Shield again, but even much older missions like Presage. Although Bungie haven't outlined specifically how that will affect rewards. And so for the moment, based on what the Destiny Content Vault says, the acquisition of various different exotics will be affected, whether they're weapons or cosmetic items. And so, for exotic quest rewards, the Treymarsh Sparrow from the High Alert Anomaly Detected quest, Dead Messenger exotic from the Kill the Messenger quest, and the Revision Zero from the Hidden Shape quest will all no longer be obtainable via those specific quests. On top of that, from the Vox Obscura mission, the Ivory Empress Sparrow will no longer be available, and other seasonal exotic rewards include the Charge of Light Sparrow, which dropped from rank 16 on the star chart, and the Swashbuckler Shell, which drops from the Rising Tide Triumph. Bungie also lists specific Triumph rewards right here, so they include the Sovereign Order ship, which comes from the Applied Psychotronics Triumph, the Coalition Shell from the Codebreaker Triumph, as well as the Eidolon Shell from the #1 Fan Triumph. But in addition to that, the Generation Shadow Exotic ship, which comes from the With Full Sails Triumph, the Timbal Lucidae ship from the Severance Triumph, and the Warsat Shell from the Rebuilding Rasputin Triumph. But on top of that, various vendors associated with the seasonal content will no longer be in the game, and those include the Spider in the Elixni Quarter, the Crown of Sorrow in the Helm, as well as the Star Chart and the Exo Frame in the Helm. In addition to that, ritual reward quests, such as the ritual weapons from various seasons, will no longer be available. However, the dungeons from Year 5 still look like they'll be available, so all of their legendary weapons, exotic items, and things like that will still be able to be earned. But it's likely that they will be moved to the Legacy tab for Year 6. And so just bear in mind, if you want to access any of the items we've listed right here, they will be going away on February 28th. And again, while some of them have the potential to still be earned in the game, the deterministic nature of being able to farm for them on vendors and through engrams and things like that obviously will no longer be accessible. So be sure to keep that in mind as we move towards Year 6. Of course, also keep in mind that relevant armor sets for the various seasons throughout this past year will also no longer have direct drop sources, and they'll be in a similar position to many of the weapons, where of course they have the potential to be reprised in the future, but on the most part they're probably going to be added to other activities as random drops, and Dares of Eternity again seems to be a pretty big one for Bungie at the moment for adding gear from previous seasons and entire years, so we can look out for those as well as any other world drops and things like that which have been added throughout Year 5. And so guys, I thought a quick breakdown of these items would be useful. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let us know any bits of content you'll be sad to see going away in Year 6. Of course, some of that stuff is fairly recent, like the Operation Seraph Shield mission. But as always, it will be replaced not only with Lightfall, but all of the seasonal content that rolls out throughout 2023. So share your thoughts down below, but if you found the video useful today, guys, a rating really does help us out. But additionally, be sure to get subscribed to the channel so I can keep you posted with a lot more Destiny content and all of the news and new content in the Lightfall expansion when it drops in a couple of weeks' time. Otherwise though, as always, I very much appreciate you all tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.